Довлетджan Ягшимурадov in the blue. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Dan Hardy, cage side betting expert Ian Parker in the building as well. Our rules and judging expert Big John McCarthy will check in when necessary. Southpaw stance for Довлет.
Nice little touch over the lead hand there from Rob Wilkinson. Patted the lead hand down, just touched him in the face, just to check that range. But you can see Wilkinson staying on the outside right now. It's going to be interesting how he deals with the kicks of Ягшимурадов. I wonder if he has different game plans for different stances, because the southpaw Ягшимурадов is making him a little tentative to close distance.
Довлет not afraid to throw spinning attacks. Big lancing right hand there from Rob Wilkinson. He will use it almost as a jab in this opposite stance, this open stance here.
You can see that bullying style, how he just pushes his opponent back against the fence. Really tries to dominate the smart cage every time.
Josh Silveira, one half of our main event, looking on. He hopes to earn a spot in the championship tonight and fight whoever wins this bout. This is a playoff semifinal. Winner moves on to a $1 million championship opportunity in November. Switch of the stance and immediately the combination from Довлет, but the jab stays long from Wilkinson. Ate a right hand there for his efforts.
Man, ate it, chewed on it, swallowed it. Didn't seem to be bothered at all by it, but it's certainly going to get his respect if he catches him again. You can see Довлет just kind of reading Wilkinson, seeing where he moves, seeing how he moves. Ouch!
Clash of the shins there.
Both guys, holy cow.
I don't think anybody won that exchange. There's a nice front kick to the midsection as well. You can clearly see Wilkinson respects the skills of Ягшимурадов.
Well, you have to. We saw him knock out Jakob Neto in the first half of the regular season. Big power. It was a right hand that was the big difference in that fight. He can also throw from the southpaw stance, power from the left.
Man, he's quick off the mark, Ягшимурадов. This is a better position for Wilkinson, where there's a lot less movement for his opponent. There's that right hand over the top again. Wilkinson just dipped his head to get underneath it slightly.
We've seen Wilkinson in the past. He'll close the distance with punches, then he grabs a hold of that nasty clinch and does work with his knees. Довлет trying to egg the Australian on.
Wilkinson realizing that Довлет is waiting for those offensive things to counter punch.
This is where feinting comes into play. You've got to feint hard to get someone's reaction.
Swinging away here. Both guys right at the end of the range in the punches. Nothing solid yet to land. Both of these men with the power to change everything with a single strike. Good heavy leg kick from Wilkinson.
Right into the thigh meat of Ягшимурадов. Wilkinson getting a little out of shape there as he's crashing forward, losing a bit of discipline. He needs to keep himself tighter, because Ягшимурадов will try and slip counter, and you don't want your chin in the air when he does that. There it is!
Landed the right hand. Now Rob says, bring it.
He's just so good at getting his head to the outside of his opponent's punch. Lets the jab drift past his shoulder, and then comes over the top.
Ягшимурадov's so explosive. When he goes 100%.
Look at the stats piling up at the bottom of your screen. Wilkinson has landed one more than Довлет has. Both of these guys showing a lot of respect to the other's speed and power. And I think strong work here in the first frame. The quickness from Wilkinson. Big takedown attempt from Довлет.
Clamps onto the guillotine a second time. It was a good threat, good enough to get his opponent to abandon the takedown attempt.
There's a blitzing attack from Wilkinson, taking advantage of the breath that Довлет was taking after the takedown attempt. Good jab from Rob as well. Another
nice
single
level
leg
change
attempt.
and double by Ягшимурадов. Beautiful sprawl.
Oh, good balance there by Rob. He gives the finger wag. No takedown.
Interesting first round.
Who landed the biggest shot in the first round? Introducing Takedown, the official apparel partner of the PFL. TakedownShop.com is home to the best fight shorts and MMA apparel in the world. Scan the QR code for a free Takedown t-shirt. Rob Wilkinson on the stool. Round 2 to come in a light heavyweight semifinal. Winner moves on to a $1 million championship fight in November. There's Довлетджан Ягшимурадов. Came over from the Bellator roster. Earned a finish in his first regular season fight in the first round. Hard-fought decision over Simon Biong in the second. Now starts round 2 in a southpaw stance. Big John McCarthy, very close first round. How'd you score it?
It was a very close first round. You got to look at Ягшимурадов landing the heavier strikes is what's going to win the round for me. I get it 10-9.
Big John agrees with the AI score that gave Ягшимурадов a very slight edge in the first frame. Wilkinson potentially built some confidence after the 2 takedowns defended.
I think Ягшимурадов is just a little bit crisper and a little bit more technically refined in these ranges. As Wilkinson moves forward, most of the time people cover up and move backward. And that's what allows him to crash forward with that bullying style. But Ягшимурадов will stand his ground and slip counter. That's a very different problem that Wilkinson's starting to try and figure out a little bit. He needs to dominate the center, though, and take some of his movements away from his opponent.
Tried the check hook. As you saw, Ягшимурадов starting an attack. And Randy, strategy was a big question for me in this fight because Rob does have those grappling credentials from earlier in his career, but we know Довлет is also a very strong wrestler. So far, Wilkinson with no takedown attempts.
Yeah, very, very good wrestling. Nice sprawl and counter balance from Wilkinson. Beautiful shots by Довлет. See if he gets in deep on a takedown and gets Wilkinson to the ground. And does he have a problem? If he does, Wilkinson's so good on the ground as well.
Lead hook kick. Got a smile from Wilkinson. Довлет's so good at letting his opponents come to him. He's so good at winning the patience game. Look at that, he doesn't even return. That's going to build Rob Wilkinson's confidence to move forward, and then he's going to look for his counters.
Landed a nice jab there, did Довлет.
He's trying to tease him with that jab here.
Slightly quicker on the draw in that exchange. Draws that leg out of the way.
Довлет shoots that jab right from his waist. It's tough to see, and it's very quick.
Fans getting a little bit restless, knowing what both of these men are capable of, and coming off a big knockout by Gadzi Rabadnov. The crowd wanting to smell some blood here at the Seminole Hard Rock. Watch out. Round 2 halfway gone. We're at the midpoint of this fight. Winner moves on to a $1 million championship. There's that scooping jab again, coming from the waistline. Ягшимурадов getting his head off the center line every time he throws it. Absolutely necessary when facing an opponent with the power of Rob Wilkinson. Overhand right there. Snuck around the guard of Rob Wilkinson. He was able to roll the power off of it. Dan, who does this pace favor?
It favors Довлет because he's able to work at the timing that he wants. He's got the space to move around. His feints are working for him. He's counter punching, and he's in no rush here, right? In his mind, he probably won the first round because he felt those shots land. There's that right hand again. So the pressure really is on Rob Wilkinson to do something different, to force the pace, force the point, and make his opponent work in ranges that are going to make him uncomfortable.
There's the footwork of Rob Wilkinson temporarily cutting off Ягшимурадов.
Just for a moment, but then straight away, Ягшимурадов is off the fence again, and they're back in the center.
Perhaps a missed opportunity for the Australian there.
That was a good jab from Wilkinson, though.
Hand speed is the advice coming from the Wilkinson corner.
Hand speed drill, I think that's interesting. I wonder what that means.
Mark Montoya, one of the best in the business, offering his advice to the former champion from 2022 season.
Another good low kick there from Wilkinson. He's got to pick his pace up here a little bit.
Oh! Wilkinson shrugged it off, but that foot slapped right off of the jaw. And those are the attacks that you just don't often see from light heavyweights. Now here's Довлет, head outside.
That was a clever feint. Wilkinson froze for a moment. Wasn't sure. Oh, that was a good kick return. Now it's lighting up. 15 seconds.
Oh, nice left hook by Wilkinson.
That left hook for me was the best punch from Wilkinson, but he eats another shot for his trouble.
Spinning back fist misses for Довлет. A fascinating second round. To the third we go. Welcome back to PFL semifinal action in the light heavyweight division. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Dan Hardy on the call. There's Довлетджан Ягшимурадов. And here's the replays, Randy.
Beautiful jab by Довлет Ягшимурадов right down the middle. That one just glances off of Wilkinson's head. There's a jab of Wilkinson's. Counter with the left hook. Here's that spinning kick right on the chin of Rob Wilkinson by Ягшимурадов. Something you don't see a lot of light heavyweights pull off.
Ready for the restart in this third and final round. Довлет Ягшимурадов in the blue trunks, Rob Wilkinson in the black. We go to our judging experts, Big John McCarthy. How'd you score round two, Big John?
You know, round two is, again, incredibly close. I had Ягшимурадов go a little bit up with about 30 seconds left. Rob Wilkinson had a couple of nice exchanges there. He might have stolen the round in that last 30 seconds, so I'm going to go 20. Right now, I got it 19-19. It's an even fight.
Could be the deciding round here. Winner advances to a $1 million championship fight. Rob Wilkinson has already been there and taken home the belt. Довлетджан Ягшимурадов came over from the Bellator roster, chasing his first PFL title. Good jab lands for Довлет. Wilkinson just not quite quick enough to pull the head out of range.
You know, part of the difference as well when they're exchanging jabs is that Ягшимурадов is just pivoting slightly on that lead foot. It's allowing him to get his head out of the way, but he's landing his own punch because he's still punching to the same direction. He's just moving his head as he's doing it. Nice calf kick there. I think Wilkinson's got to pick the pace up here. I think he's got to land something that's going to get the judges' attention.
I agree with that, Dan. I think he's got to let his hands go. He's got to mix it up. Make it a little ugly. It can't be precise and precision with this guy.
Ian Parker, the odds have swung in the favor of Довлетджан Ягшимурадов. How do you think this fight's going?
It's interesting because with Довлет, he was at minus 450. He dropped down to minus 270. And if Big John is right 1-1, then Wilkinson does have to pick up the pace because every time these guys have exchanges, it looks like Довлет lands more power, although Wilkinson is blocking it. It's an interesting thing. If you think it's 1-1 and you think Wilkinson can stick it out, plus 200 is a nice number. It's anyone's fight right now, but I think if Wilkinson's going to pull it off, he has to step it up. He's got to throw more volume, and he's got to throw some caution to the wind. Now is not the time to be hesitant.
I'm somewhat surprised to not see Rob Wilkinson with his traditional forward blitz, pressure into the cage. He's been so successful with that inside the smart cage in the past. So far, nothing doing in that regard. Halfway through round 3.
Oh, and again, a beautiful 1-2 from Dovlet. I feel like Wilkinson's giving him too much respect here, Sean. What do you think?
I think he knows he's not fast in those exchanges, and yet he's still trying to engage in that race.
Yes.
Volume might be the answer for Rob Wilkinson. Forward pressure, you might have to eat one to give 2.
See now, when he gets him close to the fence is when he tends to attack. We've seen Rob do that the other 2 rounds in this fight. He gets him right here, and now is when you'll see Rob attack, and he's not pulling the trigger.
Good foot movement there by Dovlet. Took the angle and moved left.
He's got really clever footwork. It's so subtle, the nuanced movement that we've got. He's just getting him out of range. I mean, Wilkinson's starting to get the length of the arms of Довлетджан, so he's able to get his head out of the way a bit more of these shots. But it's when he commits to his own punches and gets countered, that's really where he's paying the price.
Everything about Dovlet is deceptive. His build, he's got those thick thighs, and yet he bounces so lightly and he moves so quickly.
Nice.
Good jab. Left hand landed for Wilkinson. Switch there. Went for the blitz. Final minute of this light heavyweight semifinal. And again, a 1-2 from Dovlet with that jab coming from the low angle.
It's like a screw punch. He stings it through the guard, and it's causing Rob Wilkinson to go into a very broken posture, causing disarray, and then that right hand's coming over the top, and he's just whipping his chin a few times here. 30 seconds left. Level change. Can he defend this takedown, Wilkinson? He's got great balance. Look at that. Wow.
Beautiful work by Wilkinson to shrug off the takedown attempt, and a nice knee, but he backs out. That clinch is where he's been so successful. Didn't want to grab it. Not against Dovlet.
He's really worried about the takedown there. Well, he doesn't want to hang in the palm like he normally does and drive those knees up the middle.
Good right hand and a left from Wilkinson.
And outside single again by
like
Dovlet.
Clockwork at this point in every single round. And now look at this, Dovlet swinging away. There's the last bell, and we will go to the judges' scorecards. Both men raise their hands in victory. Only one will advance to a $1 million championship.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a judge. Holy cow.
We will come back for an official decision. That was our co-main. We still have a main event, our second light heavyweight semifinal. Last year's champion, Impa Kasanganay and Josh Silveira in a rematch from last year's title bout. Randy and Dan think that Dovlet will advance to the PFL Light Heavyweight Championship in 2024. The official commission judges have final say. Garrett Fertig has their scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going the distance all 3 rounds, we go to your 3 judges at cage side for the decision. All 3 judges see the contest 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, securing his spot in the $1 million light heavyweight world championship. Довлетджан Wolfhound Ягшимурадов.
The pride of Turkmenistan is off to a light heavyweight championship fight against the winner of our main event, still to be determined, here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We'll take a look at